Suavemente, bésame. Te quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez.
Let me get a picture. And welcome to all our friends in South Florida. I had to play that.
And why is that?
Because today we are going to have a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad I got Stacy sitting next to me. That's all I'm saying.
Suavemente. You know what that means, right? Nice and easy. Conversation of nice and easy.
Is that what that means?
Smooth jazz.
Shorty, you hear this? Yes. Nice and easy?
Smooth jazz.
I see no jazz. I see a care package that's staying on your side of the table.
That's right. And I want to welcome all our friends in South Florida, New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco. We are going to look for more places to place the show. We are going to do something a little different. We are going to go Latino style. Because
Julie?
We have an intern in the house, Latina ladies in the house. We're going to go to the other side. I can't think of anything more appropriate. I swear to God, I see nothing but glitter. I can't pick something more appropriate than today's show.
Why? Because Julie's in
Because
the house?
Latinos are lovers.
Are they, Stacy? But last I remember of our conversation,
yes.
Not so much.
Well, Latinos are lovers,
not
baby.
Not so much, right?
I don't know.
Is that what we talked
the last conversation?
Yeah.
You mean when you guys were here without me?
No, when Stacy and I were talking to you at the end of the show.
Yeah, Stacy stayed. Latinos are lovers, baby. And today's show you're going to love, because today's show we're going to have a little conversation about the sexual adventures of grown-ups. How's that? For lack of a better word. And we're going to get into that. But before we do that, why don't you tell people how they can hear and see us?
Why don't you?
No, go ahead and do that. I gotta go show our new intern the gate.
Don't even think about it.
Oh, I gotta show the gate?
Don't even think about it.
You can see us on the Facebook Live on the Brooklyn Cafe.
Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. If you leave set again like you did on Monday.
I did not leave the set.
Oh,
I had issues that were affecting everybody in America, not only me. Not only me.
Can I please tell you, I spoke to someone yesterday and I was telling him what happened to us on Monday. He said he had to go to 3 banks yesterday because all the banking systems that he used were shut down. It's insane what's going on.
Shut down. And you know why?
Well, I thought it was Mercury retrograde. Apparently there's some conspiracy theory you got going on.
It has nothing to do. It has to do with what's going on in the political world.
That's what you said.
And they are now protecting us from being hacked because you know what's coming. Hackers. You know where most of your hackers come from? You guys know?
Another country.
Russia. And right now what's happening is... Yeah. And right now what they're doing is they're protecting the grid. So everything went down
that
sideways.
Happened to us last week here. Someone hacked into the whole system of the whole gallery.
Yep.
And we have all geo walls or whatever geo fencing we have.
Fixed it, yeah.
And we caught it.
And the radio station. They hacked into the radio station too. Yeah, but we caught it. We caught it. So now what's happening is across America, your banking goes upside down and everything else. It's because they're changing the grid to protect what's going on.
You know what I heard?
I'm afraid to ask.
I heard you went to Olive Pit last night.
I have glitter on my tongue. Yes.
And?
Went to Olive Pit. Have you guys ever heard of Olive Pit?
I don't even know Olive.
Where is their stuff?
The menu's right over there. It is on 18th Street, Southwest 18th Street in the Outback Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Right across the street from Howard's. It's fairly new, open November 14th.
November 14th.
Fairly new Greek restaurant, and it's Athenian grill, and everything is char-grilled how.
And I didn't know Athenian grill meant anything until I walked in, and the food.
No, but I love Greek.
Oh my goodness! And this is good Greek. This guy is a soccer star turned chef.
Entrepreneur.
Yes, and we talked about how the famous soccer player from I don't know where
David Beckham.
Beckham, you know Beckham. He's opening up the thing in Miami, the stadium, soccer stadium. They asked this guy to be the scout for the players on that team. That's how good this guy is, or was.
He must have good food.
The food is delicious. And
to die for.
And instead of grilling, they grill it on recycled olive pits.
Wow.
That would explain the name.
That's really cool.
So
they found a use for olive. What do you do with an olive pit?
Have a dump truck full of olive pits.
No, it comes from Greece, and they have it in these bags.
Oh, from making
and they
the olive
sell
oil,
it.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you do is you take the pits, and it's crushed and everything else, put in a bag, and you put it in your grill, and you cook off of it.
Awesome.
No carcinogens from the charcoal, none of that.
That would be that black stuff that I'm always eating. and it's so delicious and it's killing
They
it.
hit them before they soak them in strychnine, which is how they soften olives, right?
And strychnine? You know, you amaze me.
Isn't it?
I mean, you have like these guys are professors.
Try living with
Useless
this.
knowledge.
You guys live together?
It's a font.
Yeah, it's a font that uses-
So you know for a fact that they do that.
That's how they
The
soften
black
them.
shrivelly
Yeah.
ones, the calamatas, they cure them in strychnine.
No way.
Yeah.
They're like rocks when you take them off a tree.
Ask Google. Google
Is that where you got that information? What do you sit home
No,
and read? How do I soften my pit?
You know how they soften the pits for the Moroccan oil that you use in your hair?
How?
Through goats. Goats eat them off the tree, they digest them, and it softens them, which is a whole lot better than the strychnine, I think. At least the goats are eating them and
I'm
digesting
putting
them.
goat doo-doo on my
You
body.
don't
Or
use
food
Moroccan
that's,
oil on your hair, do
choice.
you?
Yeah.
I don't, not anymore right now.
I do sometimes.
The argan oil.
Oh, you got
what that
doo-doo hair.
Argan oil
I
comes
got
from the
doo-doo
pits
hair?
from the
Doo-doo
trees.
hair.
Purple doo-doo hair.
Purple
But it's
doo-doo hair.
beautiful.
If you hold your breath, it'll turn green. No.
Just
on
think
the-
it all metabolizes through the goat's digestive system for the
When do you
argan
guys
oil.
come up and then you talk about where do you guys get this information?
That's true.
But I'm gonna tell you,
Just-
Larry, he has the most information. Larry was interviewed on CBS, not once but twice. They cut that into 2 segments about what's going on up at the villages, about that
And with
whole.
old people in general, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But it's amazing all the information. So they sort of cut the angles on him, and he sounds like a professor. Are you like a
elders.
professor? The elders.
The elders, like at that other place we went to visit, the elders.
The elders.
Well, think about what happens in nursing
That's not
homes
common.
and
Well, people
Assisted
don't think
livings.
about it, and that's part of the problem, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's
There's
talking
a
about it,
denial.
right?
We infantilize old people and think that they're not sexual anymore.
Well, and a lot of it is also due to the fact that it's just not the standard of attraction.
okay, what's old?
Right?
What's the standard?
What is the
Retirement,
what?
65, 70, 75. See, now that I'm 55,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think that's
asking
old.
you. That's what I'm
Exactly.
asking you.
When
What
I
is
was
old?
25, I
There's
would have
really
thought
no
that's Spartan
old
dust.
Yeah.
person. I mean, it's kind of a characterization. And, 75-year-olds today, statistically more than half of people over the age of 65 are both sexually interested and active. And almost 30%, almost a third of all people over 75 are still active and interested. And the main obstacle, the main barrier for a lot of these older adults is just a lack of a partner.
Yeah. But people don't think about, today's 75-year-olds were in their 30s 40 years ago.
It's a long
They were
time ago.
hippies, right? So today's grandparents aren't our grandparents who sat
Well,
around
listen, be careful because I'm a
with caftans on their
grandparent.
lap in a rocking chair.
I am now a
You're a
new
little more cool.
grandparent. Okay,
You are.
I am. My son went in and put me over the edge. But
I thought you were only 35 and just looked like
I'm
crap.
25. Be careful. I don't care, but it's true. And the funny thing is, these gentlemen, the Siegel brothers, they have a show on Monday nights at 9:00. Sex Talk with the Siegel brothers, and you guys have been brothers all your life, yeah?
Absolutely.
And you're real
As far back
brothers,
as I can remember.
real brothers.
I met him at birth.
At birth? Who did you guys come out at the same time?
Oh,
No.
Was that a real question?
Oh, you don't know. You have no idea what I put up with these guys on Monday.
I wasn't gonna ask.
Sometimes
Hey,
when
Dylan, that chair next to you still open?
so-
I might be joining you.
sometimes you meet a guy and they get along phenomenal. I was
they're
going to ask him,
like
do you guys,
brothers.
and you're like brothers, like Super John. He could be my brother, and
He
we don't
is.
have the same
It's
mother.
your brother from another mother.
That's right. So I just want to make sure, because you want to talk about different characters. You got 2 different characters here. They're both very smart, and one is a little sharper than the other in terms of comedy. I'm not going to say which. I like to keep them on suspense. But it's brilliant what they talk about. How many people do you know go to a conference about sex?
She's sitting next to me.
You went to a conference about sex?
She
No,
wrote a
not
whole
this
book.
last
No,
one.
she wrote a book. Okay.
Confessions and Lessons of a Sexpert.
Yes,
so
but
how
I'm-
do you think she knows all of the information?
No, but she's a woman. She should know.
Oh,
Just saying.
How about that?
Freddie.
I'm good.
She's trying to get points.
Props
It
to
isn't that.
Props
It's,
to
it's
Stacey.
like guys want to think that they rule the hen, and these guys will tell you that they do and they don't. Because guys run around the house and women run the house. Just saying. Just saying. I could be wrong. But how many people do you know go to a conference about sex? These guys went to Colorado. Yes?
Sure.
Sure.
And you went to
All
a
the time.
conference. They go all the time.
Several times a year.
Well, you would think that's their profession. That's what they would do.
There's a conference about sex? I didn't get no
Not
memo.
everything.
Many of them.
Really?
All over the
All
world.
different kinds.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's not
like-
just sex, it's relationships, it's intimacy, it's more than just the physical act of sex.
Okay, so if there's all this wonderful information, all this knowledge of books and everything else, I love this picture.
It was
Anyway.
in our book. It was in our book note.
I know, I
Did
was
you
reading
know
it.
that?
I was reading, I put it to the back, because people keep taking that stuff out of the library and taking it home. Then why is it that there's not enough information going on in our community, in our society now? We got all this information. You guys are going to conferences, you guys are writing books, right?
Yep.
But it's like we're in the dark
Because it's sex.
because nobody
It's
wants to talk about it.
taboo.
Well, again, we can look back at the founding of this society. You know, we're still living this Puritan ethic. And
I was a
where we
Puritan?
Also, I think
Never.
the question also speaks to why we have the highest rate of every problem you can associate with sex and sexuality around the world, bar none.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we look at sex and sexuality through this lens of some arbitrary sense of morality. We don't look at it as biology. We don't look at it as humanity. We don't look at it as a normal and one of the most integral parts of who we are
Life.
as men and women. It is life. We have this really bizarre way of looking at it in terms of, like I said, the only way I can describe it is arbitrary sense of morality.
Well, let me ask you, because that's on the male's perspective, I can see that. What about a female's perspective?
I think it's because of all the pesticides and it's changing our hormone level and our adrenal level and it's totally changing everything in the United States. That's what I think. I'm just
All
saying.
right, thank you. Tune in. We'll see you.
That's what I think.
Next.
Thank you. Pesticides.
Yes.
Okay. well,
Because
that's an
everything we
angle.
talked about yesterday changes the libido, it changes your anxiety, it changes performance, it changes how you feel
Pesticides.
about yourself. Well, the pesticides and the fluoride and all these things that are missing and we don't have the nutrients, things are just not working the same way.
Pesticides.
Well, in general, when people
Okay.
are poisoned, they don't generally function as well.
Like soaking your olive pits in strychnine. There you have it.
Pesticides.
Strychnine's
Okay.
gone.
Well, what do you got there, Coach?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously there's some
I'm talking
merit
about the
to that.
hormone changes of what it is. And if your hormones are
wait,
changing,
take
then
it, take it easy, Jen.
She's like,
Take it.
hormones, pesticides.
Okay, so what do you think?
No, but I agree with that because people are just looking through and looking at it as procreation and everything is behind closed doors and nobody is looking at it as part of life, as what people, what people do, what people are living. And it's just that there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of...
But how can I don't get that? Why is there shame? And there are books in my hand that you can read, right? You guys have written books. You guys got a show. All this information comes. People are listening to your show. I know the number.
remember Dr. Doris, she has the 2 books.
Absolutely.
Love Attempted,
I got handcuffs over there from
Arrested.
Dr. Dora.
Love
There's a lot of
Revenge.
Let me say
judgment.
something about that. And this shows you how far back this sense of shame really goes. That, when we talk about body parts, just names of body parts for women, right, the outer parts of the woman's genitals, right, we call that vulva. But the original name...
A Volvo?
Vulva.
No, you,
That's
Volvo.
vulva.
I got to call it.
You drive
I got to call it.
differently.
I was just going to say
A little different kind of
That's where
drive.
the word Volvo came from there, Soprano.
But what is called vulva was originally called pudendum
In the
in
Latin.
the ancient Greeks,
Oh,
right? Which originally meant
it's something to be ashamed of.
something to be ashamed of.
So the
women's
parts are
genitals
named
were
about
named
shame?
To
Exactly.
be ashamed of.
Now let me ask you.
Named
But
for
even
shame.
going further, women that enjoyed sex, women that were orgasmic, were
slut-shamed.
always demonized. Not only slut-shamed,
yeah.
burned as witches.
Yeah.
Burned as
Burned
witches.
as accused
No,
of,
no,
of
no.
being
She's like backing up.
No, you ain't going nowhere. Stay right
leave
here.
it. Don't want to
I, no, you ain't leaving nothing. But the bottom line here is that there's more shame going on than education.
Absolutely.
All right, to keep it on the up and up.
That's the education.
To keep it on the up and
It
up.
makes the education impotent and useless and like a plumbing lesson, or nobody talks
plumbing
about
lesson.
pleasure or consent or
A
safety.
plumbing lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
know,
got
the parts.
pesticides and plumbers.
The
This
organ
show,
recital.
you like this? And you're a millennial. We're going to go towards you because you guys are the future of the country.
Mara's enjoying this though.
Mar, you like what we're going on here, Sopranos?
Oh, by the way, not
Sopranos, you got a mic.
millennials have the lowest rate of sexual activity.
Who?
Millennials.
Come on.
It's true.
Kid
Kids
you
are
not.
having less sex than adults
Less
now.
than adults.
Well,
First
maybe,
time.
maybe,
Older
hold on,
adults over 50 are the
hold
most
on. Maybe that is your statistics. In the Latino community, that isn't true. And she knows what I'm talking about.
She's laughing.
Oh, she's laughing.
You hear her laughing in the background.
There are more children among the Latin community than anything else, because as a society, we're not giving birth to kids anymore, right?
Well, there is a divide
There are pockets.
along socioeconomic lines and geography. You see women on the coasts and higher education tend to have kids in their 30s, and poorer folks or more rural or less educated folks tend to still have young, 19, 20, 21.
Well, let me give you a spin. Women, the empowerment of women coming up in the workforce, doing the things that they do, now are putting childbearing and families
Later
further
on.
down the line, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the statistics get, nobody's having sex. That isn't, just because you're not having kids doesn't mean you're not having sex.
Of course.
But the bottom line
Those are
is,
two separate statistics.
no, I understand. But women now are getting more involved in the business aspect. They're running companies. They're forming companies. They are more inclined to say, you know what, put that back burner
Right.
on even relationships.
And they're doing it on 38 years old and 40 rather than 25 and 30.
And there's nothing wrong with
Right.
that.
Or not at
no,
all.
there is.
Or not at all, yeah.
Most women have their first kid already in that age range of being high risk.
Yes, okay, the physicality of it. But I want to tell you something. Don't have children. I shouldn't say that. When you have children, when you,
It's like,
I know
stop
that's a
while
big,
you're ahead.
that's a big mistake. Come and join us. When you're having children younger, it creates different problems, right? Because as you mature, other things happen in your life. Decision making. Kids, they have to feel that burden of your decision making and changes of your life. Couples have more pressure, so they break up. And sometimes the woman is the one that stays with the child. I never understood that whole thing. But anyway, and they have to make more decisions on their own, and it's not easy. So it's changed. The whole industry has changed. But I'm going to go right back to the same question, because I think it's an excuse. We have shows, we have authors, we have books, both male and female, and there isn't enough information, apparently, to satisfy the unknown. We have problems in our communities. We have problems in the senior community. And as us over the age of 30, are you over 30?
Almost.
Okay. Us over the age of 30, we're going to be looking at this from a different part of life. And these kids in here are all under 30, and they're going to look at this in a different way than us. My kids call me an old man. I'm a grandfather. I don't know elbow from other parts of my anatomy.
Do you?
I don't know. Come on, give me a break. When I sit in the back of the car, they say, "What kind of coffin do you want?" Really? I'm 56 years old. What, are you kidding me? When it comes to this matter, when it comes to this subject matter, they don't want to hear from me. They think they got it all right, but they can't find their own way out of the room with the door say exit stage right.
And you know what, not for nothing, but every generation of adolescents is the same in that regard. You
Ari?
can't tell them that. You can't tell them anything.
Of course, that's
You know,
normal
that's
adolescence.
You always look at to the
But I
older
think what
people.
you're saying is right, because there's a lot of information, but information by itself is sterile and doesn't get through to change people's attitudes, which changes their behaviors.
But we've got the information, we've got the attitude, and I just can't sit quiet anymore. I gotta ask Stacy. I'm done. Sorry, I disagree with you all the way around.
Okay, bring it.
Because it's not the education and the information. We feel how we feel, and this is why you have the practice that you have. Because man or female, and it's not one gender or another, there's problems. And people
Right.
don't know how to address the problems. And reading the books and reading the education is great. But if you can't get past that conversation with your partner or how you feel about yourself, then it doesn't make a difference.
But how can you have a conversation if you don't have information?
Stacy, how do we do that?
That is a part of
Well, yeah.
You
no,
hit
it's
them over the
true.
head with this book.
Exactly. No, but all the education that the kids are growing up with, like my daughter's 17 and my son's going to be 15, there's no education in school except the porn that they watch behind closed doors.
Well, there's no education on having children
Right.
either. It's like,
Right.
here's your baby, go home.
But it's all abstinence based. And say, okay, you have to make sure you wear a condom so you don't get disease. They don't talk about, orgasmic response. They don't talk about how the body actually reacts to connections and stuff like that. So I think that the education is lacking in schools even.
Well, and you're not even allowed to talk about pleasure.
Right.
Again, when we talk
No,
about
it's all
federal
about
guidelines,
Right.
Pleasure.
only,
Forget
you
it.
have to teach. In order to get that federal money, you have to teach the students that sex outside of the confines of basically a heterosexual marriage is likely to cause physical and psychological harm. That's almost a direct quote from the statute.
From the education.
Well, it's
It's
funny.
not true.
But it's funny because let's even go lighter than that. They don't teach you about condoms, right? They don't teach you.
They do.
No, they do. Well,
Yeah.
But they teach you how
But
to
put the
apply
condom
and
on,
open
yeah.
them.
They
They teach you how
condoms,
it
they teach
breaks.
You safe sex,
Well, hold
they
on,
teach you
hold on.
Yes, they teach you not to double glove because it's not any safer. It's worse.
Do they teach you school? Talking about the schools.
teachers at school.
No. Oh, no.
What school? What school
I'm telling
teaches
you, my
it?
kids went through the Palm Beach County school system, and from middle school on, they had sex education
You got
classes.
real lucky
they-
with the specific
specific
schools they
school.
were in because there's
Yeah, 'cause
nothing
lately, the
consistent.
last 5
It's
to
always up
7
to the
years,
principal.
There's no money in the budget for
And I've
this.
even had the conversation with my son, who is now in law school. We're talking
He finally got it.
double gloving. He goes,
Nice.
"Mom, you never
Triple.
He says, "You don't." He said, "Because the friction of it makes none of it work, and they come off."
see, I think we got more early on than we do now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, now it's become
I
I
invisible.
was on the show the other
Mara,
night.
how do you like
We've been
this
at this for 30
conversation?
years, and the needle hasn't really
Dying.
moved.
I'm a millennial. Today.
Hold on to your mic. I want to hear what you got to say. You're the reason I'm bringing it up. You are a millennial. Did anybody teach you about sex education in school?
She's not from Florida.
It don't matter. Whatever school.
It's
Yeah,
universal.
doesn't matter.
Yes.
They did? Yes?
Could you
They
tell
taught
us what it was like?
It was more like of a scary topic.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Or they scared
you're
you.
gonna get, like, we learned about all of these STDs and STIs.
That's what I said, yeah.
instead
ABCs
of-
and
It's all about what happens when you have sex. You might get a disease. Make sure you're protected. Make sure you don't get pregnant. Boom, that's it.
So
Just
us
live a
as
ju- you know.
millennials,
Well, and you're
we like to
So-
go against what is.
That's right. They should teach you it's a good thing and watch nobody have sex.
well. Ask
the boss of
Exactly.
That's what I do with my daughter. And she
Julie. You were
refuses
raised in
men.
Venezuela, right? What's it? In
The Latina aspect.
what was it like?
They get nothing in
What did you learn about in school about sex education?
They didn't teach me how to do it.
They didn't teach you how to do it.
Did they teach you the safety aspects?
It was like really taboo, but they just telling
Taboo.
you like you have to use condom and you have to care about who you choose to do it because there is a lot of disease.
Bless you.
So, but yeah, it was very basic. Like it wasn't like they really teach you everything about sex. You have to learn by
Of course.
Yeah,
We've been
and I
teaching
think
this
they
class,
teach
I'm sorry.
anything about sex.
We've been teaching this class at Palm Beach State College, human sexuality education. And it's stupid to always have to stick human on there like somebody's studying something
Animal
else.
sexuality. there you
I
go.
wanted to know about
And
snails.
for 30 years consistently, without fail, the most
30
common,
years?
30 years, the most common comment that students put on their evaluations is, why didn't we hear any of this in high school?
Well, I'm going to tell you, you know how I learned about sex education? My uncle bought me a stack of Playboy magazines. And I read the article.
That was then.
And that's how I learned. And then one day my parents caught me. I wasn't trying to hide. I didn't know it was a
Yeah,
bad
but
thing.
that's sex. As a woman, I think there is probably with men too. There's more to sex than the physical act
Of course.
of sex,
Of course.
and that's where the
And
sex.
nobody teaches that.
And nobody teaches that. That's not the education, and that's where the relationships fall down. Because if you can have the physical intercourse or touch, great. But there's more to it. You're a parent. You've got kids. You've got to get back into that whole mode of what it is.
So it's almost like relationship, classes that need to go along with
Intimacy
the,
education,
with the, yeah.
right?
I mean, the two, I think,
Exactly.
the two
Should go
core
together.
problems that we have with all of these things I think you're referring to are A, ignorance of the body, and B, unrealistic expectations when it comes to relationships.
But this is what my Latino education is what they taught me. It wasn't about the pictures. It was about what you're going to get into. Well, my uncles used to laugh at me. They say, I'm going to tell you, the first time you're with a woman, bring a bag because you're going to throw up. It's disgusting that some of the things you're going to be getting involved in.
That's a nice positive
I
message.
This is a true story. This is the way I was taught, introduced, and I said, well, why would I want to do that? So I guess they did the opposite because I ain't looking for that.
You know what I found out? Because for my kids being in the middle school and high school or whatever, what they did is when they did the sex ed classes, they separated the men
Oh,
from
yeah.
the
Yes,
women.
of course.
So
Oh,
the
yeah.
men's learning about the men, the women were learning about the women. So when they get together, they don't know what each other's body parts look like, what their function is, what they need. And even women, they talk about, yes, the vulva and the vagina and whatever, but they don't say the clitoris is for pleasure. That's the only reason why we have it. And so at 49 years old, I had a client that had no clue. I have a vagina pillow with a little pearl where the clitoris is. They had no idea what it was. They're like, oh, that's pretty. What's that there for? I'm like, that's the clit. Oh, is that what it is? I had no idea. Well, no wonder, you know.
The entire anatomy of it.
Exactly.
Right? When we were in Denver
well,
at the
because
conference,
the whole.
Larry won a beautiful 3D printed clitoris
I want
about
one.
this tall. It was the best conversation starter
Right.
at a bar
Because
I've
people
ever
think
seen.
it's a little.
But
a
not a
little
single
bean.
person could identify. No women, no men. Nobody had
Nobody
the
had any
slightest
idea.
idea what it was.
Right.
Because
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I know married couples. Okay, my father and my mother, may she rest in peace. I'll never forget the time that they thought my father had a problem, a disease, and it came back negative. But she was complaining, your father's sick, he's gonna make me sick. I mean, she went all berserk on me, and they were married 60 some odd years. And I went and I picked up a bunch of condoms. I said, Dad, listen, I guess Mom is not comfortable, so you're gonna have to learn how to wear this. He said, what the hell is that? And my father today is 86, 87. And he never heard of condoms. He said, well, what am I going to do with this?
prophylactic.
I said, you put I said, Dad, you put water in it, you tie it in, and you hold it over her, and then that takes care of all the problems.
And you pop it to get her wet.
No, and I said, and you know what? They were buying into this because they don't know what it is. So it crosses, the information will cross all sorts of things. That you win a prize in that thing. I mean, I hold up a lube thing here. And you know how many people are going to squirm because I talk about lube? Are you serious? When you get older, mature in your age, this may become your best friend.
Absolutely.
You never know.
People are
Be
ashamed
uncomfortable
to.
when you do squirm.
Right.
Right.
And if you don't get hip to the deal, you're going to hate having sex. You're
And that's
not going
another
to
thing,
like
they're not
it.
educated. They don't understand that as you get older, or medication you're on, or the time of the month
How it
that
changes
your
you.
body changes, and it's okay to use lube. You don't have to be shamed. The man doesn't have to feel like they're failing if they can't get their partner wet, because not
Or
everyone.
like you're supposed to go infinitely
Right,
forever,
right. Like
It's like
it's just
isn't it like that in the movies? In the movies, you can go for 2.5 hours.
And that's
I
the
love
problem.
that.
Right,
Come
that's the
on,
problem.
give me
Yeah,
a
going back
break.
to what you were saying with your experience, I mean, that's kind of what we do to most young people. Because we don't give them information. We do leave them to their own devices and to people that are influenced.
You don't want to have the conversation.
And it's not only wrong information, a lot of times it's just bad information.
Right.
And
It's dangerous.
It's attitudes.
Bad
It's these
info-
attitudes that
And
sex
that-
is
yeah.
I
scary,
love
sex
that.
is
Let me
gross.
give you bad
And you
information.
can't talk about it. You can't do it. Yeah.
Let me give you bad information so that way.
It's like Larry said years ago, it's akin to having a plumber come out and to your
plumber
house and
again.
clog up all your
Plumber
toilets.
Plumber again. I got a plumber and I got.
You got nothing for me today.
You are awful quiet.
But why are you so quiet,
You
though?
got nothing.
It's a
because-
conversation.
Because my whole conversation on it is totally different than the
Okay.
act of sex.
But I want to come back to that because there is a sort of line of consideration in all of this as well. When we do talk about all of the toxins that are put in the body, when we talk about the plastics that
That you
been
drink water
consuming
of,
for
okay.
many years, it does have in many cases, like with all the plastics and things like that, some of the chemicals that leach into what we are consuming.
well, look what even they're
has
putting.
estrogenic effects.
But
Oh,
even what they're
absolutely.
making the lubes, and maybe this lube is a great organic one and it's fine. What are they
Absolutely.
putting on the prophylactics, the Naloxone 9? How
Oh,
many?
not anymore.
But back when I was back
Wait a minute,
growing
but what
up,
does that do to you?
What's
people
the
had
spermicide?
reactions
Well,
to it.
sometimes it can
The
burn.
spermicide, it
sometimes
burns, it makes you have a reaction, and you know what? All these things when you're having safe sex and you're trying to be intimate with your partner or between children, and you can't because nothing is, it's great for the man because they're not having the effect of it, and the man's getting pleasure, and you know what? At some point the woman's like, you know what? Why bother? Because I'm the one that's got to worry about getting pregnant. I'm the one that's reacting to these chemicals. I'm the one that's staying home with the kids. You want my opinion on all this? You're going to get it all.
Yeah, bring it.
And then they want to go to bed and be intimate, and you're like, but wait, baby's been crying, and you're out a day at work, and you come home and you're great. There's dinner on the
not
table, and you know
feeling
what? I'm done.
Right,
sure.
So it's not the act of sex.
It's the lack of sex.
And you will
Who
love
want-
that
who
lube.
wants that?
Dawn, you will love that lube.
Gosh.
Because that's exactly how it was developed. The woman is Wendy Stoger out in Oregon when she started this company was because she had to use an external lube and she had all these reactions to all the petrochemical ingredients that were in every lube. And it got to a point where her marriage was in crisis. Her relationship was in crisis. So she basically did her research. She sat in her kitchen and kind of put all this stuff together, completely organic, non-synthetic, everything natural, none of those, because she was experiencing everything that you were just talking about.
And these are things that nobody.
So
and there he
these
is.
are important products.
Now you come in for the conversation.
To have out there, because that is an issue for a lot of people.
And that's when people call you, right, Stacey, and they go, it's not even about the physicality of the sex anymore. Forget the pleasure. I'm just done even trying. I just shut it down because the mommy zone, and then 25 years later, your kids grow up and you got to get back to it.
But hold on a second. Then I have a question for you.
Stacey, yes.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
How are you supposed to fix these things if no one wants to talk about it? Do you know, I'm going to tell you what, when I was growing up, what lube was to my Latino families? Vaseline, which
now
is
they
a
say
petrol.
coconut oil, olive oil,
But hold
things that are
on,
natural.
a Vaseline is a byproduct of petroleum.
Right.
It's a dangerous lube, is Vaseline. You shouldn't be using that.
No.
But that's what they did
It
in
also
the day.
dissolves condoms, by the way.
Yeah.
For what condoms? What no condoms?
See,
What
and
do
those
we
things
can't
they don't
afford
teach you.
condoms?
They don't
They don't teach you
educate
any
you.
of that,
No.
right?
Yeah.
No, but I think that what you're saying is that not only are we not getting the sex education, but you're not getting relationship education, just even with other people, not even necessarily in a partnership, but a friendship, and just how to be a good person, how to be a supportive person. But I know that, a lot of women, more so than the men, I find that when the people come into me, they're talking about obligatory sex. Because they're either, and people will say, well, to a woman, what do you consider bad sex, or sex that's just not that great? And they're like, when I'm in pain. And then you ask a man, and they're like, when I don't ejaculate. Right. So you never, almost ever, hear a man saying bad sex is when they're in pain. So for women, there's so many people that don't even speak up because they're embarrassed, they're ashamed, they don't know what to do. The doctors don't listen to them. I dealt with my own story for 6 years of painful sex. And people say, oh, just have a drink and relax.
Gynecologists say that.
Well, that's what,
you got to
yes.
relax, have a glass of wine.
Yes,
Like,
it has
come
nothing
on.
to do with
Sex
relaxing.
Is never supposed to be painful.
Exactly,
Ever.
and they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, I think, with
dismissed.
the women.
And by the way, there are a lot of men that do experience that kind of sexual pain, and again, don't know how to talk about it,
Right.
and don't know how to deal with it, so they do just shut down. And in some cases, we see with rapid ejaculators, a lot of that
Is that a thing?
Oh, absolutely. We used to call it premature ejaculation.
There you go.
Now
There
it's
are
like
mature men that
Rapid
Right.
ejaculation.
that do
Rapid
it. So, yeah,
ejaculation.
just,
But you
rapid
don't
ejaculation.
have 30% of men who expect that pain is a regular
No,
part of
I'm
sex.
not talking about the expectation. No, absolutely not. I'm talking about the experience, and even a way of sort of denying it and not dealing with it is kind of that sort of withholding. It's obligatory sex.
Right.
I'm going to do it because you want to do it, but I'll say, hey, sorry,
But I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to push myself through
I
it.
see
and-
that
Instead
as
of
part
going
of a
through the whole process
progression.
of being uncomfortable and painful.
Yeah.
First, it becomes routine after the honeymoon phase of a relationship.
After
Sex
2 years,
becomes
they say, right?
routine.
Yeah, usually 2
Right,
years.
and then from routine, it becomes kind of obligatory, then perfunctory, like, get it over with.
Right.
And then resentment starts to creep in, and
Right.
that's when couples are real. Now, what you said, I really have to jump on too, because just because someone has a kid doesn't mean they turn into their mother and become a sexless old person. Couples come in and say, we're pregnant and we don't want to turn into our parents, so help us keep an erotic, loving marriage, because we're lovers. The kids are literal proof of that love. And why should we just turn into mommy and daddy, where sexless, the no sex or low sex marriage is really this country's deep, dark, dirty secret.
And it changes.
And what about making adjustments in the game? When you're married 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, there are going to be adjustments. You're not going to be the same person.
And what
Right.
do you really need to do? What do you need to do to make effective adjustments?
Effective is the key word.
Communicate.
That's right.
Communicate, exactly.
Be able to
And
say, this is what I like, this is what I
virtually
don't.
nobody goes into these relationships communicating, talking with agreements. We come in with assumptions and expectations. And that doesn't really change throughout the course of the relationship. We find out we are failing tests that we never even knew we took. Right. We find out there are expectations we are violating and betraying that we didn't even know were standards, because we never talked about this stuff. we assume we're going to be on the same page.
Right,
And
and people
the
change.
definition-
Stacey, you work with couples like that. I mean, you work with, you were telling us the woman was older than the man, and she had more expectations out of her young
No
partner,
doubt. Oh, it's
right?
terrible.
No doubt.
Than he had of her. But you would think, right, he was much younger. You think,
Mm-hmm.
how could he not meet those expectations? But clearly she had more.
Right. No, and
And guaranteed they never talked about it.
no, well, if they did talk about it, because one thing that they said is they talked about it at the beginning, but here we are 2 years later, you start getting into a little bit more of a comfort zone, and life changes, jobs change, stress changes, and sexuality is fluid too. So the way you are at one time, you may change and have different desires later on.
That's
you
right.
know, 10 years, every few years, you need to kind of, not few years, but every so often, you need to reevaluate.
I may say I like ice cream, vanilla ice cream today.
And then 5 years later, you
And
may
not
hate it.
5 years
okay,
later,
and then
not 5 years
tomorrow.
later. Then tomorrow. I say, you know what? I can't stand vanilla ice. Where'd you get
That's
that?
a personality disorder, Fred.
No, it's not. You know what it is? It is you won't say nothing for 5 years because you think you
Absolutely.
shouldn't say it. And therein begins the problem.
Super John. No, he's back. We got the Latino young millennial.
Have you heard this conversation? Where the hell were you?
She's getting me up to speed about it. I was in the restroom.
Oh, she's texting you the conversation.
Now, you're a millennial. How old are you?
24.
Okay.
And you grew up here in Palm Beach County.
That is correct.
Did you have sex ed in school?
Not in school, actually, no.
Seriously?
I never took a
Where
sex
did you
ed
get
class
your
in
sex
school.
ed class education from?
Maybe just human anatomy.
Just my
101.
parents, yeah, or like
Your parents sat with
or
you?
like a chapter in science class,
Yeah,
like standard
okay.
science class. Like we
You didn't
taught-
have hope or anything where they taught you nothing.
They talked about the reproductive system,
That's
like
what
in
it
that
is.
sense, but they never like talked about the safety measures of having sex, what it means to have sex, or any of that.
Nothing.
Nothing, no.
So
We would
how'd you-
probably have like if it, like one of the days we would have us about the reproductive system, they would talk like briefly about safety and whatnot.
Maybe they
Did you
don't.
have
Maybe
to
they
have
don't know.
parents' Permission
They don't
No,
know.
for that
because
job?
Yes.
they just
A lot of
strictly
places-
I had
I
to
did.
sign.
I had to
happens
sign.
a lot of
Yeah,
places.
I had to sign.
Yeah.
You have to sign?
I had to
I
give
had
my
to sign.
Absolutely
permission for the kids to
ridiculous.
have sexuality class. Absolutely. And if you didn't sign, then those
They'd
kids
go
were
into
pulled
another
out,
Right.
Right.
and they weren't part of the discussion.
I think the whole thing is upside down. I'm
Okay, so
sorry.
so wait, now
Absolutely.
you're in a relationship with an amazing girlfriend,
Yes.
right? So is it hard to navigate that, or you just
Oh,
had to
maybe
figure it out?
maybe she got the
Where's
class.
Abigail? Maybe Abby had the
Maybe
class.
Abby got the
Abby
class.
could answer that question for you. Like, what's it called? We
He's
don't-
looking at the chat.
Human sexuality. You looking for the Cliff Notes? We got.
No, he's
Cliff
looking at
Notes.
his phone to see if she's texting in.
I haven't seen her
It's-
yet.
It's
Save me,
hilarious
save me.
because we had this conversation several times before, and it's funny because one day we were just looking into zodiac signs just to look at it, and her sign is like very active when it comes to that, and we joke about.
And yours isn't.
No, mine's Pisces, so I'm more of like the emotional,
Oh, he's like you.
romantic.
Yeah, but that-
taking out to dinner type guy.
And what is she, a Leo?
No, she's a Scorpio.
Oh, no, you guys get along.
Yeah, no, we get along.
My,
When's
fir-
her-
my
when's her
first
birthday?
ex-wife was a Scorpio.
What's her birthday?
What's her birthday? October 26th.
And what are you?
February 22nd. Yeah.
So they've had the conversation.
They have, but your signs work. You know, it's really funny because sometimes you can use that as an excuse. I didn't know. You got to teach me. Now, would you
We're
do
not
that?
astrologically
That what?
compatible.
Would you let a female teach you about sexual relationships and all that stuff? Would you listen?
I would be open for like a couples session. Yeah, like if she and I were to go and talk about it.
So you don't have a problem with that?
No, so
Okay.
the only problem we ever have is oh, this is kind of awkward.
She's not even watching. We're good.
No, because it's more educational. The only problem we ever have is like understanding where when I'm not feeling up for it at the moment, where I'm either tired or just not feeling it.
Wow.
She could take it a certain way where maybe
Yes.
I'm not attracted.
You mean
to it.
guys-
I was going to say
Yeah.
something
Hold on,
about that.
guys-
What I'm
guys-
seeing in my practice is a brand new thing, and it's almost like epidemic, that for the first time,
Women
Oh,
are
she's
shaming the men.
watching.
low desire complaints in men, where it's always been women complaining, it was like this diagnosis, hypoactive sexual desire disorder.
Abby says
It's
my
made for
Scorpio
women.
self is very
Yeah,
active.
see,
I'm seeing more and more men
Hey, Abby.
saying
More
exactly
stress
I have
that.
to
and
take
pressure
issue
from
with
their
that
women.
as well. I think that has been a bias that we have had for a long time because in the years that I was in practice, the irony is
You were practicing
there were
those?
way more when couples came in.
Yeah.
More often than not, it was actually complaining about the man.
Yeah.
Really?
not being as interested.
Oh, men aren't allowed
we
to-
don't have permission.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that-
There's
we
an
don't-
expectation.
Men don't-
Right. Always
men-
be ready,
and-
and that arousal, that physical arousal, is a sign of attraction.
Hey, Larry, men
Right.
don't.
Right,
Men
so they
aren't
don't
allowed to
feel
cry
insecure,
either.
like, oh, you didn't get an erection. What's wrong with me?
Not into me anymore.
And men don't.
Right.
Men,
That's not true.
but
Right.
men aren't allowed to cry either. You know, I got a hip to the game. If you're not,
Especially if they can't get an erection.
well, if you can't, if you can't get into the game that way, there's a lot of different ways of getting into the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's where you start talking about performance versus pleasure.
But then let me
It's
ask you a
focused
question.
on
And
performance.
desire.
Hold on. So what do you do when a woman says, "I don't turn you on no more. I don't stimulate you no more. That's why you're not in the game." All of a sudden, the guilt comes. No, that's not what it is. Right?
No, because guys think that we're supposed to be horny, and that if we're not, we just wait until we feel it. And it's this idea
Sometimes
of
we not,
responsive-
That would
but
be
it's
boring.
how
Desire.
you.
Sometimes, yeah, you have to.
But how
sometimes
you
build
share
it.
the information, because she's going to left field. You're in right field. You're not up for it today. But that doesn't mean you ain't up for it in different ways.
Well, there's a way of refusing respectfully and lovingly, and not so that the person is insulted and takes it personally.
But they take it personally.
There's a difference
Well, they
between
often
I don't
do.
Because
feel
there's
like
no
it
education
now,
for
and
women
I'm
to
not
understand.
attracted to you.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. We had all this education.
Laura, you're
No, but
smiling
that
way
is-
too
but that
much
is
back
an
there.
issue, because a lot of times people.
You need a mic.
More often in heterosexual relationships.
Pass the
Right.
mic down
More
tomorrow.
often the woman.
She has a mic.
No, she gave it to Super John. They're texting over here.
I don't want to.
Hear me?
Instead, hearing I
Yes.
don't want you.
All right, Mara,
Right.
what are you texting?
No, it's true.
You have a boyfriend.
Yes,
you met him.
I
He's
do.
a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's great.
And what's it like? You're both millennials.
He's not really. Is it under 30? He's 34.
Okay, he's close. He's younger
He's
than
kind
we
of an
are.
old man.
He's an old man. Holy smokes.
Well, me and Freddy are gonna pick out his casket after work.
Wow.
Do you have the conversation, or it's all good?
Oh, we are open about everything, like everything.
But she has that kind of personality.
During, after, like, you know what I mean, like.
What
Just
does that?
we're
What does that
open.
mean to be open? about everything?
If something's not feeling right, like don't do that, do this. Like we have open communication with
Good.
what pleasures us and what doesn't, because everyone's different. Like
I mean, it's a personality thing too. I think.
exactly. So if someone likes like being tied up,
So-
some
needs to
other
read Dr.
person might have a
Jones'
traumatic experience with that and not like it.
Soprano, take it easy. That's the 9
It's
o'clock.
got furry handcuffs.
Okay, hold on. That's the 9 o'clock show on Monday nights. Sex Talk with the Siegel Brothers, not on the cafe.
But what happens a lot of times is you'll have one person who's a little more open
Yeah.
and is able to talk about certain things, and the other person's not, either due to their upbringing or personality, they're a little more shy. So I had one lady, she was having an orgasm, and she said that she was so embarrassed because her partner started laughing and had never been with someone who had an orgasm and just thought it was kind of funny looking, and they couldn't talk about it because he was just kind of like, shy about it, and she just clammed up and she never had one again.
But hold
So
on.
she couldn't.
The guy laughing isn't insulting. Some guys, they laugh when that happens.
Right, but because
They're not laughing at you.
What are you
They-
laughing at?
Well, maybe they're saying.
I'm with you.
What if a woman
maybe
laughed at
hear
you?
Well, hold on a second. Maybe they're saying, "Got it done," and
Well,
he's smiling.
but in
and you're
this
taking it
case,
as a
it-
laugh.
But she took it that way, and that's all.
But this is the.
Right.
But this is the
and they didn't
problem.
talk about it because he was too shy to express, and she clammed up about it. But what happens is there's sometimes one person that just can't discuss it. And so, like she was saying about the handcuffs and talking about things, if her partner was not open to it and made her feel bad about, you want handcuffs? God, that's like slutty, or that's this, or that's that.
And what's wrong with that?
But that's
But that's-
the risk that people have to be willing to take.
Right. So sometimes they'll get
And
shamed.
sometimes they're not willing
Right.
to take that risk of being
So they don't
rejected
talk.
or being told
needs
that
more
they're
condoms.
Need more condoms.
That's,
Listen,
that's
more
the
caffeine.
lesson
Let me
from
ask you.
kinky people.
let me ask, but
The lesson that
kink,
vanilla people can learn from kinky people who, the rest of the
Vanilla
world
people
thinks
can
they're
learn from
weird
kinky
or
people.
I would rather start as kinky and work your way down.
But kinky people know how to communicate, how to set
They
limits
have
and
to.
boundaries and say, we're going to do this, we're not
They
going to do
have
that.
to. And kinkiness
everybody
doesn't
can
work without a
learn
little
from
communication.
that.
You become chaos.
But the vanilla couples need to learn from that. And
Vanilla better go to
understand.
Maybe
chocolate
they're
and then go to
happy.
squirrels.
But maybe the
'cause
vanilla
Rocky
couples
Road.
are happy being vanilla.
maybe they are. But then
Some are.
Yeah, but we're seeing them, so they're not.
Some,
That's right. If they're in our office,
anybody
comes to
listening
give us advice and tell us how great their
anybody
sex life is.
listening to us is not. It's like, you ever notice the tattoo that goes on the lower back?
The tramp stamp.
Don't talk about my tattoo like that.
Jeez Louise. I was
I got
trying.
one of
Have you
those.
seen mine?
You have one?
Have you seen mine?
You have one too?
I think there's several in the room.
You guys have that? No?
I
Now,
don't.
why
I
do they...
just wanted to see your reaction.
Oh, I do.
I was trying
Look,
to...
they all went silent.
I was
didn't they?
trying to avoid saying that word.
That's what it's called.
But it's a double
It's just like,
standard
I
that
do.
needs to be called out.
Is
But
that...
why?
But why? Why do they
And
call
why
it
is it
that?
called that?
I know why they call it that. Hold on. Be careful how you answer
Speaks
that.
to a woman
Slut-shaming.
who's open about her
there's
sexuality,
something wrong
about
with
her
a woman
body, and
that's
that's,
not
never
comfortable.
been really acceptable.
Right.
Well, you know, millennials, younger kids walk around with their pants around their thighs, right?
Well, those
Well,
are the men.
The boys.
No,
That's-
with the
that's
boys.
more the
But
guys
that,
aspiring
but the
to
history.
Actually,
But hold on,
culture.
the history of that is really it's in
Comes from
prison.
Prison.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, and I asked,
Kids have no idea.
but I asked kids, do you know where that comes from when you're wearing it that way? Yeah, my cousin taught me this is the way you do it. Really? Where did he learn it? Did he go to prison?
Not only does it come from prison, but what does it mean in prison?
That's right. Hello. There you have it. So
Bend over.
this
And you wonder why we don't keep interns. I
So
can't
this-
imagine.
so this tattoo that you get done, which to me is an artistic piece, no different than on your arm or anything
Sure.
else, all of a sudden became a name. And I know where the name came from. We're not going to go down that road, but it comes from that whole naughtiness, right? So kinky, to me, everybody should start at that level and work your way down. You want to be vanilla, but don't hold people who don't want to be
Maybe it's
vanilla
the
guilty.
education. You don't realize there's another way.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah, or they don't know what to do or how even to get to that other
But
way.
it's
Or maybe
really
just-
like-
right. It's embarrassing. Like
Right.
I learned the act in sex ed or whatever you learned. You know how to
But
do
you don't
it.
learn about handcuffs. You don't learn about
Right, and then is it
whatever.
embarrassing to try that? Is it
Right.
culturally, and we talked about this before,
Right.
culturally for women or men, is it different based on your nationality? And you and I talked
Sure.
about that, and you were said, absolutely.
Does it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nationality?
It's only been about 10 minutes that our field has stopped or is trying to stop putting pathologies on folks and calling these mental illnesses and diseases like sadomasochism and like people locked up in the psych hospital. So yeah, it's still kind of a brand new thing for us getting used to and bringing out in the
Different
open
pleasures.
that sex is a quality of life issue and it's about pleasure and intimacy and not just for making babies.
And don't you think being Latino, it's a whole, you're expected to be Latino?
Machismo. We're not allowed to say.
There's a very there's a mixed message
Well,
there
is
too.
it?
Well,
Because
it's
we talk about
changed.
Latin lovers, but
It's
most
changed.
Latinos are Catholic. So there's
So what?
We had that
messages about
conversation too,
guilt
right?
and sexism and what
Guilt?
girls should
Guilt
do
and shame.
In the Catholics?
Look,
More than
Christ
anybody
is.
else.
They got
More than anybody
More than
else.
Jewish
Anybody
beat
else.
on
Really?
guilt,
Then I'm not a real
shame.
Catholic. Shame of what?
Bodies, sex.
Shame of bodies.
Oh, come on, where you been, man?
I don't know. I didn't get the
You really
memo.
are a
You're
horrible
Latin Catholic.
I'm a horrible Catholic.
In the Catholic Church,
What?
hey,
Yes.
hey, in the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
it's a sin to live with your partner before you get married.
I know. The priest that was just excommunicated because he
It's a
touched
sin
boys
to
told
be
me the same
gay. It's
thing.
a sin to
Everything is a
masturbate.
sin.
It's a sin to
Listen.
spill the seed. You know. all
When they
this
were
stuff.
when they were forming Catholic Church, you ever notice how big a Catholic Church is? And again, don't write to me because they're huge. You know why? Because they want to shrink
Well, it
you
was a
down.
governing body.
That's right. They wanted to manipulate your
institution
mind
for control.
and guilt is a great way
We're going
of
to change the
controlling-
topic on religion.
and controlling yourself.
Go
But
back to sex talk.
but the bottom line
Especially
here is
sexual orientation when it comes to people's religion or background. Their sexual orientation. I have people come in all the time that just can't be true to who they are because they're going to be disowned. They're going to be, in the
Excommunicated,
church or wherever
sure.
they are
Sure.
because that's not something they're supposed to be doing. And
The whole nonsense with sex addiction is
Oh, I love that
is
one.
really all about that conflict between that religious belief and their
Right.
sense of morality, what they want to do versus what they
What
think
they are
they're
allowed to
supposed
do, or-
and
right.
allowed to do. That's where the conflict is. That's
Right.
where the problem lies for these people. It's not about the behavior. It's not about being addicted to sex. That's ridiculous.
I think there's
Right.
too many things about what you're supposed to do, and not enough things about just do it and do it.
And that's
And have
fun.
why-
And fun.
and again,
Have
Communicate.
not wanting to slam or put religion down, but that's the problem when so many people use religion as the basis for their
Well,
understanding.
leave religion
around sex and
outside.
sexuality.
You know, that's why
Because
God
it's so
created
arbitrary,
doors.
and it is so dogmatic.
It's about love, and it's about expression, and it's about being true to who you are and enjoying yourself.
That's
And-
right.
Yeah, we need to get Shorty out here. She's not been part of the conversation, but we need to give out all
Shorty,
your
come on. We got 5 minutes, real quick.
information out. Are you even hearing this conversation?
Have you heard anything that's going on?
We'll get you, Mike.
Get a mic. I gave you one. You got it on?
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear her? Make
Yes,
sure
I
the
hear
mic
you.
is on.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You're not very short.
No, that's why we
That's
call
why
it
I call
Shorty.
it.
Well, when I was in school, it was a very religious Christian school, and they didn't teach you anything about sex at all. All they did was tell you that it was wrong and that it was a sin before marriage and just don't do it. And as a kid, I thought that was kind of messed up because regardless of whether you teach that, there's always going to be kids who do have it. And then when they're in that environment, they're going to hate themselves after. And
The
so
guilt.
stuff they don't
The guilt
know.
and the shame, and
And it's secretive and underground.
Yeah,
And that's-
and then that's kind of how I felt in high school too. And they don't account for that, and it's not really helping the person who does have it, because then they don't even know what they're doing at all. If it's just frowned upon and you just move past it.
and that's when
Yeah.
they keep quiet and they don't get the education
Right.
because they feel shame for it.
And when you look at kids, especially that are struggling with sexual identity issues and orientation issues, and because of that incredibly restrictive and everything is about bad and punishment and all that kind of stuff, this is a reason why these kids have the highest
Suicide rate.
This is something that everybody and every religious institution should be ashamed of.
Absolutely.
But we should open up the lid on this thing because something has to be done with what's going on with all the other pressures on top of this stuff. Because this stuff will mess you up. You know, it will psychologically affect you in
For
relationships.
your
and-
entire life.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For the rest
exactly.
of your
Every
life.
area of your life, not
Exactly.
just in the bedroom.
Isn't it sad that the thing that can bring us the
Most
greatest
joy.
ecstasy, pleasure, joy, connection is also the source of our most abject pain and suffering?
It's a shame. And again, you guys, we got a minute. You guys have a show Monday nights, 9:00, 95.3
Sex
FM.
Talk, Siegel
Sex-
Brothers.
I
To
mean,
the
real
what
field
else could you
brothers.
think of
The
that
real
is
brothers.
more universal that every human being on the planet has in common? than
That's
our
true.
Sexuality, and
That's
that's
true.
the one thing that we can't talk about.
Well,
That's
it's got to change. And again, and I mean, I make a lot of fun, and I bring in stuff and all that, and I make a lot of fun about this. But I really worry about our kids growing up and having all of this mental anguish going on right now. You gotta pop the cork on this thing, and you're gonna have to start talking about it because it needs to change. All right, how do you get this book?
For a free PDF download, you can go to drstacybook.com, or it's found on Amazon. And Stacy spelled Stacy.
Congratulations, by the way.
Confessions
Thank you.
of
Why did you
Confessions
give it
and
away for free?
Lessons
a sexpert. It's Dr. Stacy
That's right.
Friedman.
And if
Check
you-
it out on Amazon.
And if you want to read it, come on down to the cafe and hit the book nook. You have a piece, some coffee.
Have a cup of coffee.
Have a cup of coffee.
It's a
and check
good
it out.
read. It's an easy read. It just helps people kind of begin the adventure to intimacy. and
We'll be back
reconnection.
in 2 and 2.
Which is 4.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys
Stay
for
tuned,
joining us.
95.3
Thank you.
FM,
Thank you.
1470 AM, and we will be right back.
There you go.
solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.
This is GAB2, GABRadioNetwork.com.
This is Lee Habib for Our American Stories. It's a great way to cuddle up to the radio and hear fascinating stories about people you know and some pretty amazing stories about people you don't know. Weekdays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on WNN.
The Money Talk Radio Network is WSBR Boca Raton, W280DU Boca Raton, and W245BC Lauderdale Lakes.
What if I told you that getting multiple servings of vegetables each day could be really easy? Amanda Williams here from Invite Health to tell you about a new product called SmartServe. The USDA recommends 3 cups of vegetables per day, but if you're on the go, getting your vegetables can be a lot harder than you think. Each serving of Invite's SmartServe Vegetable Blend supplies 1 complete USDA serving of green leafy vegetables. That's right, 1 serving and you're done. SmartServe provides the same vitamins and nutrients as 14 organic kale leaves, 4 organic spinach leaves, and 1 organic broccoli floret. These SmartServe capsules are from South Carolina. They're organic, non-GMO, and free of gluten and starch. Take advantage of this risk-free special from Invite Health. Buy 1 bottle of SmartServe at retail and get the second bottle free with free shipping. Contact Invite at 800-463-7575. 800-463-7575. That's 800-463-7575. Invite Health, the luxury brand of vitamins.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Staying healthy is difficult. What nutritional supplements should you take? What foods are best for you? What health practitioner should you see? You've got health questions, I've got health answers. From heartburn to hemorrhoids, pain to pimples, carpal tunnel to the common cold, gluten to gallbladder, and gingivitis, and all points in between. I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Tune into my Sunday talk show at 10 o'clock on Talk 1470 WNN.
Homeowners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course you would. We all want to save money, but how? By calling Debbie at I Will Advisors, that's how, and have her review your homeowner's policy. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for you. So what are you waiting for? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Go to your app store and download the WNN app on your Android or iPhone. And never miss a Talk 1470 minute.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Science has confirmed that real health comes from raw, organic, and wild foods. Essentials is a complete program of 5 products to help your body function as nature intended. Premium Ancient Superfood Algae offers energy and stamina. Food-based digestive enzymes help prevent occasional heartburn and may reduce stress from processed foods and heavy metals. Our proprietary probiotics help support immune health, regulate bowels, and eliminate toxins. Improve your mood, mental clarity, focus, faster rejuvenation, and better sleep. Order now at eatessentialsnow.com. Essentials, life-enhancing ingredients in the palm of your hand. Eatessentialsnow.com.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Well, it's 1 o'clock, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. The team is ready to serve you a huge portion of fun for lunch. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought, take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe, and get ready to enjoy the humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of feel-good and happy soup to help your day go easier and enjoy your break with others around you. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddy S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. The feel-good food you need to help that bagel go down nice and smoothly. If you have a story to share, anything that happened at work, play, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you today, call in toll-free 888-565-1470 right now. So sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe and let Dawn and Freddy S. get your happy juices flowing.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Welcome to part 2 of Here Comes the Sun. Sunshine, if you missed part 1 today,
Hit rewind.
hit rewind. It's something. You don't want to, you want to see today's show. We had a little interesting conversation, something we normally do not do on the cafe. We talked about sex.
You talked about sex. I talked about intimacy and relationships. You're such a guy. Boy brain. Jackie's laughing.
It's funny because Dawn tried to she tried to leave this up, but she tried to talk about intimacy and everything else. I thought I tied that up very nice at the end.
I tied it up. Very nice. A nice little package. Remember we used to say wrap it up? You wrapped it up very
I
lovely.
never ever said that.
Wrap it up.
But I will say we need more cowbell.
Wrap it up. You had a nice little care package there.
Yes, I'm going to give that to John. He needs it.
Happy, don't worry. Freddie's got you covered.
Anyway, we have part 2 of today's show. You want to say how to...
Absolutely. Welcome to a wonderful
check us
Wednesday. I've got my wish wand out on the Brooklyn Cafe TV. You can find us at 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, live streaming on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Podcast, Spotify. Someone wanted to know where our Spotify spot was.
If you have an iPhone and you say to Siri, play the Brooklyn Cafe TV show, it's going to pop up. If you go to Spotify, if you have a Spotify account, write in the Brooklyn Cafe TV show and you'll hear all our podcasts.
All our podcasts. Today's show was interesting. We had the Siegel brothers.
Oh, you were running out of here.
Well, let me tell you why it was interesting.
Oh, tell me.
Because I disagreed with all of you. And I never disagree with you.
But
you always disagree with me.
There was nothing to disagree on.
Yes, and I talked to Dr. Stacy about it because it's not just the act of sex.
I never said that.
It's the whole action of intimacy.
I never said that.
But they did, and the whole education and what's going on in our school system. So I want to bring her back and talk about the intimacy side.
They never said that either. We put up the walls that people don't want to talk about. We said the word sex. I mean, I held up a bottle of lube and you jumped out of your skin. No, we don't do that. Because people just don't want to talk about it. All I was trying to show is if you're not going to talk about it, we're not going to have a conversation. If you're uncomfortable, we're not going to have a conversation. Because you're going to be so uncomfortable, you're going to be, how do I get out of this seat? How do I get the hell out of here?
Because there's so much more to the conversation. There's so much more to the conversation.
There is, but let's begin somewhere. That's all I'm asking. Let's have a conversation. I look at these kids in here, none of them were taught correctly. They're going to mess up.
I have to tell you that,
mentally.
John, what you told me blows my mind. Because I can tell you, my kids went through the Palm Beach County school system, and I remember signing permission slips for them to be educated and have health class and human sexuality class. And
I have Carrie.
Okay, and then I talked to Super John, who grew up in Palm Beach County schools.
Super John!
And he had nothing but a chapter in his science book.
That's all he had.
That is, I'm sorry, Palm Beach School, the curriculum, that is horrific, that we are not teaching our kids more than one chapter in a science book.
He had more than me. He got a chapter. I didn't even get a sniff of nothing in sex education.
You're Latino.
Nothing.
I know. That's false too.
I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on there. But it's the psychological aspect. It's the ending of the show that you got to listen to. How it messes you up here because you're all messed up around you. That's all I'm saying.
Take
Anyway.
a look, hit rewind on Facebook, Periscope, or YouTube.
Check it out.
Check it out. Watch the first show. People were watching the
Dylan.
show from yesterday and
Look
they
at
went,
Dylan.
wow, you
Hey,
smile.
Dylan, you always smile?
No, I'm good. We're good.
Dylan.
His name's going to be Smiley now.
Smiley. Your new name
It's now
is now
It's
Smiley.
now Smiley, and so it shall be.
Yes, what you are. You are Smiley. We still got to get Latina lady a song. I mean, a name.
Give us a call, 888-565-1470.
Look
to
at this.
Partake in our
Are
conversation.
you kidding me?
Wow. got
Latina
Julie on the
lady
board.
is on the... Her name is Julie?
Her name is Julie.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. Thank you.
We also have Carrie from Living FLA on the line. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good. 3 is a charm. Monday we had no technology. Today we are up and running. What's happening this week in South Florida?
Oh, lots of good things. Speaking of your theme of Here Comes the Sun, we just scheduled a Moet Chandon, let me make sure I get this right, Bubbles and Beatles champagne dinner at 50 Ocean.
Nice. Bubbles and beer?
Bubbles and Beatles.
Bubbles and Beatles.
Beatles?
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Oh, the Beatles.
There's four celebrity chefs. They're all going to create delicious dishes, so that's happening on the 16th. Boca Festival Days continues all month with great events every day paired up with nonprofits in Boca. Their Wine and Jazz is happening at the end of the month. That's the finale of the Boca Festival Days, and it's a great event at Boca Resort. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. Let's see what else we have here.
Let me ask you a question while you're looking to see what else is happening. How do we get the cafe on your Living FLA site so people know they can come here every day and participate in our show?
Yeah,
and
because
our
they
studio
keep
audience?
they keep texting me, and I'm like, just go to his
Living
site.
FLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I want to get your logo on my site and vice versa. So, yeah, livingfla.com. You'll find out about all these events. So, Friday and Saturday, there's 2 great concerts at Meisner Park.
What are they?
They are, let's see, the Billy Joel Tribute Band, the Turnstiles, and a symphony. I'm a little bit disorganized because
I was about to say, you're a little bit disorganized.
Yeah, sorry about that. Not my usual way of presenting this, but yeah, in the middle of the week it throws me off a little bit. I'm used to getting everything set up in the beginning.
All right,
We
so
just set
Friday
up
night
another
is Billy
TEDx.
Joel?
Yeah, Billy Joel, you guys have to be there. Bring your lawn chairs and blankets, or you can rent lawn chairs there. So that's on Friday, then the symphony on Saturday. Both free concerts. We set up another TEDx pre-event at the Farmer's Table coming up on the 30th.
Now, talk to me about that Farmers Table deal. You're having them meet at Farmers Table for what? So that they can introduce who's going to be speaking?
Yeah, it'll be a duplicate of last month's event. So we'll have some local speakers. We'll be telling people about the actual TEDx event. And it'll be a business network,
And that's the 30th. What time?
6 to 8.
And that's at Farmer's Table, and you can get tickets and information on livingfla.com?
Yeah, we haven't actually put it up yet, but it'll be up in like the next 20 minutes.
All right, so by
So
the
let's
end
see
of
what
our
else we
show, you
have
can all
here.
register for that.
Yeah, Monday the 13th, Boca's Got Talent is a great event that's part of Boca Festival Days.
Okay.
And all that is on the website also.
All right, thank
Excellent.
you, Carrie.
Thank
all right,
you,
we
Carrie.
got the 13th Boca Festival Days. This Friday is Billy Joel Tribute Band in Meisner Park. Saturday is the Symphony in Meisner Park. And the 30th, mark your calendars. Within 20 minutes, you can register for that for TEDx at Farmer's Table. Lots going on in South Florida. And the kids go back
Yes.
to school next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Carrie.
Carrie. At livingfla.com.
Bye.
Can you believe the kids go back to school?
What he doesn't know is I'm going to create the FredX.
FredX.
Yep.
What do you think, TJ? FredX?
I think it should work. Sounds good to me.
Now, TJ's here because I wanted to talk a little bit about the Are You Ready segment. That it's been a quiet, what am I going to call this? It's been a quiet thunderstorm season. There is one in the Atlantic is going to be heading, I don't know, wherever. And on my phone, I have a tracker. Now, because of the volcanoes and the sand in the atmosphere, the volcano ash, it has slowed down storms here. Yeah. What do you... Don't you see all the rain that we have?
Scientific about it.
No, I just want you to know we need more cowbells. But the bottom line here is that it has slowed down here, but up north,
yeah, up
different
north is
story,
bad.
right?
That's correct.
And some of the things that we don't look at is about securities in our home. We don't take care of because people have a tendency of leaving, right? A storm comes, everybody leaves. They leave your house unprotected. And that's why I asked TJ to come.
Well, TJ is with Vector Security, and he actually came out to my house last week. We talked about reevaluating our alarm system, and we got to do it.
Well, I was just wondering how you guys were going to make the transition from sex to security. And I must say, you did a good job. The transition was seamless.
It's always about safety.
It's always about safety.
You got to cover up somehow.
It's always about being safe.
Being safe.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe. I got to tell you, it going to cost you one way or the other. You ain't safe if you ain't careful.
You'd be saving more money with TJ right there.
There you go.
That's right. Now, the other thing I want to tell people that are home buyers, like my son, although his son announced yesterday he's buying a home, you got to go see him.
Right.
If you're buying a home, have TJ come out and give you an evaluation of how to protect your home at the best deal, because you offer different plans and different coverages and everything else.
Yep.
But it's an important piece because the storms come and people leave. You want to leave your house in protective deal, right? I mean, that's the bottom line.
You know, it was interesting when TJ came to the house, we were talking about, you know, when you leave, you want everything armed and safe. You never think about when you're sleeping, keeping it safe. And you brought it up. You said, well, you want to make sure that when you're sleeping, you're safe. That's something that never even entered my mind. It was this false sense of security that you alarm the house and you're safe. I never think of adding another layer at night.
Well, there are two reasons for that. And one is that when you're at home and you have your alarm system on, your motion detectors are not on. That's what armed stay means, that your motions are not on. So you have a little bit of vulnerability there. Some people don't always do every door and every window because they say, oh, I've got a motion, you know. But that's not on when you're home. So you're a little bit vulnerable there. And then, of course, the second reason is the smoke detector. The smoke detector in most homes are not monitored. And as a result, they're designed to wake you up if there's a fire so you can get out of the house. But when you're not home, those are not monitored. So if you've got a pet at home, if you've got elderly residents still living in that house, or any kind of scenario where you're hoping that the neighbors are going to call the fire department if there's an event, that's just absolutely not going to happen. So you need to have a monitored smoke detector so that if there was an event, police, fire, or emergency in that regard, we're going to be the ones that's calling the police, and that's going to give you that added peace of mind that your home is protected in all the different levels. So sometimes I get overlooked, and I try to, as a little, my own personal trying to make sure I ensure that people understand all the things it takes to being safe. I always leave that as a caveat. Make sure you understand how this works, and in some cases how it's not going to work, and what we can do about it.
You know, it's interesting you bring this up because there is a community not far from where I live that some perks jumped in there and they tied these people up, and for 3 days they cleaned them out. They brought trucks and cleaned them out. 3 days. They were tied up for 3 days. Somebody found them finally, and the cops came. But they had a security system. They never turned it on at night. That had me thinking, because I live in a big house, and I can't see what's going on at the furthest point of entry in the house. And there's a door, windows down there as well. So Sarah used to turn the alarm system on when we slept. I didn't know, so I used to open up the garage to go out the garage, and the stupid thing went off.
You don't normally turn the alarm on when you sleep?
We do now.
You didn't before?
We didn't before.
Really?
Until that incident. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. Don't wait until something happens.
Yep, right.
Because it might cost you a whole lot. I mean, being tied up, can you imagine? You and Chuck being tied up for 3 days and they clean you out?
No.
And it happens. I mean, it happened right around the corner from. And if you live in a gated community, don't think that
a false sense of security,
you,
right?
because they lived in a gated community.
We have more incidents there than most people know because of the fact that, and there are two types of gated community. There's the one where the security guard is at the very front, and we know that, you know, if that's the case, if the security is up front, people are jumping the gate in the back all the time. The other one is if there's no guard gate, there's no guard person there, but everybody's coming in electronically.
Right.
Guess what? Other people are allowing other people to come in.
Yep.
And again, if the guard is in one place, the burglar makes sure he's in another place. There's no way that a guard can be in every place at one time. And so they do that. They time and they know. And so in gated communities, in some cases, are a little bit more vulnerable than ungated communities because of the fact that you always know where the guard is, and so you know where the guard isn't. And trying to get those persons to invest a little bit more in security sometimes is hard to do, and yet they can sometimes are sitting ducks.
And it's funny because when you have gated community, you know, you have a guard, a cop on there, and then you have them that they drive around, and then you have them now that they have guns, right? Like in my place, they have guns and they drive around. Still a false sense of security because you never know. We live on a lake. I don't own the lake. There are other things across the lake. They will come on a boat.
Yes. They'll get in any way they want to get in.
And I used to argue with my people. They used to fish. Why are you fishing on my side of the lake? Go fish on your side. Why? Because they're casing the place. Listen, I'm from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Suspicious of everything.
Of everything.
Of everything.
Of everything and everyone. Guy's walking his dog on my grass in the backyard. Why are you walking the dog here? And he was telling me he's blind. I said, well, make a right and get in the lake because you back here. What are you doing back here? They're casing the joint.
Give us a call, 888-565-1470.
You don't like that?
We're going to take a quick commercial break, more
That bother you?
effective security, and a wonderful Wednesday. We'll be right back. Like it. Like it a lot.
Push it.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or CarmenCareLaser.com.
I got a guy. You need a guy? I got a guy. With vCard Global, all your contacts are in the palm of your hand. Never leave home without your business cards or brochures again. vCard is the ultimate marketing tool. No more printing cards or brochures. vCard fits in the palm of your hand and is always with you. vCard is a powerful networking tool that virtually promotes sharing and builds referrals for your business. vCard Global, the virtual business card. Hold your business in the palm of your hand. Contact Jennifer at jenng.vcardinfo.com, the world's most intelligent business card. I got a guy, jenng.vcardinfo.com.
Hey, Dawn, do you know what CBD is?
What is CBD, Freddy?
CBD is a cannabidiol. My goodness gracious, I'm Puerto Rican and I can announce that. Cannabidiol, which is found in the hemp plant. CBD can help regulate your mood, improve your sleep, reduce inflammation, and you know what? It even increases immunity.
Did you know that our internal systems are already made to receive the CBD? It's made of natural botanicals without any psychotropic effects. Do you know what that is?
I have no idea what that means.
It means you can get healthy without getting high.
That's right. Now, people come to the studio, we give them CBD, and what's the first thing they ask me? Can I drive home? I said, did you drive here? Yes. Well, then you're going to drive home. So if you want CBD and the experience to feeling better, reducing anxiety, What do you got to do?
Give them a call at 561-674-7446. It is the #1 legal and leading CBD company in the United States. Safe for all ages. Where do you visit, Freddy?
You visit livelovecbd.com.
livelovecbd.com. Tell them Dawn and Freddy sent you.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. That's 888-565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Don and Freddie S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
Sound. What? And we need more. Cowbell.
This is Cowbell. You need more of it. We're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We're talking security with Vector Security on a wonderful Wednesday. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We also have a 15-minute consultation to give away with the virtual stylist. And it is a free styling session virtually. They've got amazing stylists. New York, LA, stylists to the stars to help you find the look you need, whether it's for an event, a job interview, just to put a whole look together. Even if you just want a whole new you, give us a call, 888-565-1470, and we will get you that special code for the virtual stylist. You can check out their website at thevirtualstylist.com. I did it, and we had Elisa on, and my stylist Stacy was on at the time. All new looks for me coming. And they even send you the site so you can shop at home. So it makes it really easy. And we've got Vector Security with us. And before we even get into these great gadgets that you have, I want to ask, what's the benefit, what makes Vector different and more unique than some of the big companies that we've all heard of and used for many years?
Well, thank you for asking. We always want to encourage people to look us up. We've been around 46 years. Right now, we've just been awarded the distinct privilege of being the 4th largest alarm company in the country. So that's quite an accomplishment that we're proud of, servicing just over 400,000 customers. Well, I don't really say customers. What we say is members of our Vector family. And not only do we want them to be a part of the Vector family, but Vector wants to be a part of their family. So hopefully people appreciate the fact that we're just not out to sell them a gadgetry, but we want them to understand that security is always on our mind, and keeping them safe is what's our priority. So we do whatever we can to extend. We do have that customer service that is so lacking in this industry. Now, everything is about going online and getting everything, but you need someone that can help you to navigate through the issues that are related to security, because it's different for every person. It's different for every family. Every family is different. The needs are different. Are you trying to keep people out? Are you trying to keep the people that's in from getting out? There are different things. As they get into the teenage years, there are different issues. So we try to take those issues and we try to help our customers to appreciate what's available that will help them to navigate those issues. So that's what I think what makes us unique.
And what you'll do is you'll take over an existing security, you'll install a new one, but you'll also take over an existing one. That's what he came to our house for, and I guess for,
if it's
you
usable,
as well.
Yes.
If it's a usable system, and it's pretty simple switch over, right? We don't even need to change a lot of equipment out. You would set just some keypads and check the connections. And then you've got these great gadgets that you can even do it online, Fred. You can arm your phone, your alarm on your phone. You can open the door on your phone. You can do a lot of things on your phone.
Well, that's the convenience, right? When your kids forget to lock the door, or you forget to...
Well, it's not always the kids that forget.
I was going to say, me, I leave the house and they always say, did you turn the alarm on?
I will never admit to that.
I think so.
I don't admit to that. But also you can see what's going on in your house. So you ever get a false reading and then you run from the movie theater at 100 miles an hour because you think somebody break into your house?
And where are you going? Because if there is an alarm going off, are you going to go home and now fight the burglar? I mean,
exactly. Why are you running home?
Because I have armed security. I did call the police.
So
I got there before because I got there before them. And I went to security.
And what are you going to do when you get there?
There's a security guy. He has a gun. I said, come on, let's go to my house. I got my alarm going on.
He's like 90 years old with a gun.
He wasn't 90 years old. This guy was a buffed up beast.
Yeah.
He had a gun. So I go to the house. Me and Linda. I get to the house. I run to the back room. I turn around. The guy's at the door. I said, come on. He says, no, I can't come in. You can't come in? No, I got a gun. I got to wait till the cops come. I said, what good are you? That's when I said, that's it. I'm done.
But they make it really easy to change the system over.
Do they?
Yeah, TJ came up. My husband says, sit down. He goes, no, I'm good standing right here. And we talked about it. We went over all the things. And we have the battery-powered smoke alarms and the battery-powered carbon monoxide. But we also have a monitored smoke alarm. And that was one of the upgrades we talked about in the system. And what you talked about is when you're not home, if you have a fire, you want that monitored, because otherwise, how are you going to know?
How are you going to know? Who's going to call the police? You know, you can't leave it to the neighbors.
I have Virginia
and again, if you have pets, absolutely necessary, because they can't dial out, and they're defenseless. If you got small children, they can't dial out. They're defenseless. You got to, for every scenario, you've got to be able to see how will we solve this? What is the way that we go about to address this if this issue were to occur? And that's what we do. We just go over scenarios and scenarios until we get that custom fit that's right for you.
And he did a great job. We had the proposal by the next day, and we have to go ahead and schedule that. And he gave us all the intricacies of how we get out of one alarm contract and into another. But I want to take a quick pause because we have an event that we want to promote. It's called Little Smiles, which is happening this Friday. And we have the Virginia on our line. Hey, Virginia.
Huh?
How are you doing? Good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Getting excited about Friday.
Tell us about Friday.
So we are going to be raising money for Little Smiles Friday at the Coral Springs Ale House, starting at 6 p.m. It's just $15 to get in. That gets you a cocktail, complimentary, and also an appetizer. And 100% of that money goes to Little Smiles. And then we're doing raffle tickets for literally hundreds of prizes we're going to be giving away. So it's a chance to walk away with all kinds of fun stuff and help a great charity.
And what is Little Smiles? What's the charity?
So Little Smiles is local. We service about 25 hospitals from Orlando down to Miami. Any hospital that has a children's unit, we service. We go in, we work through the nurses and the counselors and the social workers to give kids what they need to feel like kids again. It doesn't matter why they're in the hospital. It could be from an accident, for an illness, for an injury. We work with the nurses to give them fun stuff to make them smile, whether it's a laptop, iPads, toys, whatever it is that they want. And then we let the nurses be a part of gifting that to them.
And this is all through donations of the Foundation for Little Smiles.
Yes. So we're completely 100% local donations, local events that raise money. We would not be able to do it without the local South Florida community.
And we did a program, Freddy. Remember we had the Smiles, and the kids actually, they went out and they shot a commercial at that location. But it's always about giving back to the kids. And when you're in a hospital or it's your sibling in a hospital, it changes the dynamics for the family. And just to know that you're supported and the nurses are there and they know what the family needs, it's so nice just to feel, again, it's the security and the comfort of knowing that somebody cares and you're safe.
Nice thing. Nice thing.
That's it.
Friday, what time?
The event starts at 6 o'clock on Friday, yes.
6 o'clock on Friday at the Coral Springs Ale House. It's $15 at the door, or they're advanced?
Yeah, we're selling them at the door. $15 at the door, and that covers the drink and the app, and then more raffle prizes, too, all night long on top of that.
Fantastic. All right, everyone, Friday night, 6 o'clock at the Coral Springs Ale House to benefit Little Smiles, children in hospitals. You can't get a better cause than that.
Agreed.
Thanks, Virginia.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a great day.
Very cool.
And I met the Little Smiles organization through Dawn DeMarco.
Oh.
When I was
our
at
friend
Dawn's event,
DeMarco.
our friend Dawn DeMarco, when I was at Dawn's
Excellent.
event a couple weeks ago, she knows everyone. That woman is the networker of the networker.
She's the queen networker.
She doesn't even do it to network. She just knows everybody. We were at Scolavecchia, so you talk about 2
Oh, that's-
degrees,
okay, I
6
was gonna
degrees. It was
ask
that
you.
event at
All right.
Scolavecchia. But
Oh,
it's
very
about safety and protecting our children and keeping everyone safe. And some of the gadgets you have here, you brought the door lock and the
I
doorbell.
Did. I did.
And so what do you got there? This looks like the door lock that they put at when they're going to show a house with a lockbox and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but this is one that would be on your house all the time. It replaces your current deadbolt. And of course, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, you'll be able to use your phone to open your door. You don't need keys. Of course, there are 3 ways you could use a key, but then you've got a code. So if you got the kids coming home, they lose keys, and you're afraid about keys being lost, then you're able to use the code. And of course, obviously, if you you wanted to use your phone, use the code. It does have a key. And as you can see there on the back side of it, where you normally would be on the inside, you can see that's where the battery compartment is. This thing lights up. And when it's on your phone, you're able to do geofencing. So if you really want to get snazzy, Donnie, you're coming home, you got an armful of groceries, and you don't want to fill it with the key, it's able to do geofencing. It recognizes when you're within a certain range, and it'll just open the door automatically.
Really?
So, yeah.
And you go like open sesame.
Open sesame.
Now I got a question. Some people were saying that they have technology now, so they can hack into these systems, like doing it against cars.
Well, the ones against cars are a little bit different. Remember, that's one that's based on a DC, that's based on the batteries of the car. The only
Okay.
thing the battery is doing here is being able to run this little light here, but you're using the Wi-Fi to be able to control. So,
But can you break into that whole wavelength thing from your phone?
right?
When
They shouldn't be having access to your Wi-Fi. They're not going to have your Wi-Fi code.
Gotcha. So it's from
it's
your
not
house.
like you can just drive by the house and just start opening doors.
Gotcha.
You can't do that.
Okay.
It's very specific to your Wi-Fi, and as a result, it gives you more security because you don't have a lot of keys. We do these even in commercial. I did recently in a condo association that had so many keys because they got workers coming and going all the time. They just lost track of what keys were there and what they didn't. Well, let's go to a keyless system. Let's go to something where now you're using a fob. Occasionally we do something where they use a fob to be able to get in there that you can track. You can lock out. You can add. You can do so much more control when it's set up that way. So having the new locks now is much safer now.
Would this set up the alarm system when you lock it?
Yeah. You can have it set through the alarm system so
That's
it locks the
interesting.
door.
This
So
is like the
it gives-
mother-in-law lock.
Yeah.
You know, you go, did you give your mom the key? There's one key left. You have one key left. Whose mom do you give it to? Now all moms can come. Now it's open venue for mother-in-laws to come visit.
And this has a camera if you want to see who's at the door, like UPS and stuff.
That's the doorbell, right?
This is just the door lock itself. The doorbell is my other little
it has a
little
doorbell.
partner
Look at
right
that.
here. You've seen them on TV. Where they are actually able to has the camera. You see the camera feature there. You see the doorbell feature. You'll be pushing the doorbell right there. The camera's here, and that's something that is becoming a real big seller for us. Now, of course, you can pay a good little penny. You see them advertised for doorbell cameras, and they're a little bit pricey. But for our Vector customers, because this is unique for our Vector customers, I don't even want to mention price, but it's greatly reduced. I mean, it makes there's just no, I don't even know how to say it. It's so reduced.
It's less than a pair of shoes, ladies. I'm
yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
it is well worth.
And we don't mean expensive shoes either. So,
Exactly.
so it's
Freddie,
such
your
a
shoes.
It's a no-brainer. Not to
It's a
get.
no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. So now you'd have video. Remember, it's going to be set. It's set for motion, so it will notify you if there's someone around your door. But then if they press here, you're going to be able to not only just see them, but you can also speak through it. And that's what's the advantage between that and a regular camera. Yeah. And so in my experience, like I said, I had someone visiting my home that wanted to give me a quote for trimming trees. We're having this conversation. He thinks I'm in the house. I'm in the bathroom, which is where I do my best thinking. But I wasn't. I was actually 78 miles away. And we had that conversation. But my mother-in-law was home, who's elderly. And obviously, I don't want her running to the door every time it rings. I'm able to talk and have that conversation with him, and it didn't disturb her at all.
So when your doorbell rings, you get notified on your
Yes.
phone that it's ringing, and
Yes.
you can answer it like
Yes.
you're home.
Yeah,
So no
I
one
not
knows
only
you're
see
not
a
there.
picture, but now I'm able to converse back and forth with the person at the door.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes. That is very cool.
You don't even realize
You don't
someone's
even
not
realize.
even there.
So
and
all
then-
of these issues that we're having with people stealing packages off your porch
Right.
and all those kind of things, those things are resolved now. So it's a very nice device, and we're doing very good business with people that more and more interested in having that type of feature.
Well, how does this hook up? Because I see there's a plug on it.
Well, this is when it comes into your house, it will have a source for power. I have this set up so that normally if we were having this demonstration, I'd plug it up and I'd have the bells and whistles running for you. So I apologize, I didn't have it set up for you today. So that's my little gadgetry to be able to show you how it works by having power to it. And you see that there's colors there on the doorbell so that it rotates colors, and it's a nice feature on it.
So is this going to be on the door itself?
It replaces your existing doorbell.
I don't have I have a box on the left-hand side.
Is it just
intercom
is it
box?
just an
It's an
intercom
intercom
box?
box.
Yeah.
You don't have a doorbell?
No.
That's your doorbell?
Well, yeah, I do, but I don't. Yes, that's supposed to be the doorbell.
Does it work?
We got hit by lightning.
That would be no.
And my
You know where this story is going.
And my
That
mother,
would be a no.
And my motherboard on the alarm, on the bell is out. But the motherboard runs the intercom system through the house. So I'm trying to figure out how this would work.
Yeah, but you might as well have us come out and take a
You
look
don't
at
have
it.
see, I have an intercom. I have an old house, and then I've got a doorbell underneath it. You only have one?
No, I have one button that used to work. Ding dong.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Your ding doesn't dong.
It doesn't ding, doesn't
This
dong.
ding doesn't dong.
But I was able to talk to people but not see them.
I got a bag for you if your ding doesn't dong. Sorry.
And then she complains about me.
Yep.
Right?
Sorry, you set me up. Let's go a quick commercial break. 888-565-1470. Save the date, Friday, 6 o'clock at the Carl Springs Ale House to benefit Little Smiles. Only $15, and Dawn DeMarco Sparkle of Life will be there. 20% going back to the charity. We'll be right back.
I am crunchy because knowledge is power. Crunchy is a revolutionary line of safe and high-performing.
I am crunchy because knowledge is power. Crunchy is a revolutionary line of safe and high-performing, toxin-free cosmetics that are redefining beauty. You no longer have to sacrifice your health for your beauty or your beauty for your health. Be conscious about what are in your cosmetics and how they affect your body. Contact me at 703-509-2592 or explore at crunchywithanI.com/Liz Sant, LIZSANDT. Again, it's 703-509-2592.
What is Debersize? With over 25 years of personal training experience and workout techniques, Deb Varsalone invites you to Debersize. Debersize comes to you from the privacy of your own home or group training facility. Debersize can meet your individual fitness needs, offering one-on-one, non-impact resistance training, post-surgical strengthening, to higher-level boot camp and weight training. Debersize will meet your personal fitness goals at any age. Contact Deb at 561-307-9283. Schedule an initial consultation and get ready for a stronger, healthier you. 561-307-9283. In this world of social media and cacophony of sound, how do you get noticed? How do you get heard? In a world of instant gratification, how do you find appreciation? It's time to be heard. Become a radiating magnet and allow the law of attraction to come fully into play. Being completely in the moment speaks louder than words and actions. It's time to become fully present. It's time to put Humpty Dumpty together again. Call or text 561-351-9134. Become your radiating self. Contact Clyde at 561-351-9134. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddy S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. That's 888-565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Don and Freddy.
Freddy S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
We need more bell, please.
We need what?
More bell.
More bell.
What kind of bell?
You want... We need more cowbell.
No one knows what we're talking about, but it is a segment, a spot that our interns put together for us, and they've done an amazing job. And one day we'll be able to share it with you all.
Super John.
Super John, give us a call.
Did you see the latest one that we put up for Luna Rosa?
Cafe Luna Rosa.
Cafe Luna Rosa on A1A and Atlantic. You saw that one?
I did.
Very nice job.
Nice spot. I think Carrie Movies put that one together before she went back to school. Cafe Luna Rosa. We've got ones for Scholavecchia. What else is up there? We've got Foxworth Fountain. Corner Porch. I think that's up. I'm not quite sure if Corner Porch is up yet or not.
Porch.
We need to put Corner Porch up.
Yes. Do you have it in the list?
We will. No. What list?
You have a list of commercials you put up.
We need to put up Corner Porch on our Facebook page.
We haven't done that?
No. Because Mara was putting in the boom. Your boom.
Do we have the boom set up?
The boom is set up. I'm going to put in the address. All right, she's going to add an address, and then the Corner Porch will be up on Facebook. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We do have the virtual stylist, 15-minute free consultation center, call-in. I got all kinds of things.
What's the matter with you today?
And we've got Vector Security for a consultation. You can contact TJ or give us a call right here on set, 888-565-1470. You will come to people's homes. Is there a charge to come to the home to convert the system? People, they're like, it's too good to be true.
I know. What's the
downside? What is the glitch?
Not at all. No cost for evaluations. We do that because we want people to understand that we're more concerned first about what they need and what their situation is. If you got nothing from us, we still enjoy coming out and showing you where you may have some voids in your system. And that's just a service we provide. Vector has always provided that, and we always will, as long as we are the entity that we are.
And we talked about having a landline. Do you have a landline at your house?
Yes.
Why do you have a landline?
Because as a business, they told me to have one.
All right, so we have our landline. Two reasons. One is because I always wanted it for the alarm system. The other is
I don't use landline for the alarm system.
A fax. What do you use?
It's a satellite.
What do you use, TJ? What do we? Because he says you do not need a landline anymore for your alarm system.
We provide a cell phone right inside of the unit, so we're able to do that using cell signal, and that is the most reliable. Because if we have a storm, and we have storms here in Florida, the landline's the first thing to go down. That's right. The cell is the more reliable. So we put the systems in, and we got everybody here is from someplace else. This is a very transient place. Not very many people are putting in landline phones. Yeah. Couples get married, they don't have a landline phone. Everybody's using their cell. So that's what we're doing. We're taking advantage of that, and we're saying, okay, if that's what people are using, that's what we're going to make available.
Let me ask you another question. Millennials, they rent apartments.
They do.
Do you provide, is there an option for a system to put in a rental?
We can. We have to help them to appreciate the fact that a contract is a certain length of time, and more times than not is longer than their rental agreement. But what we do help them to appreciate is as long as they keep us for a year, if they were to move, we'll move the system for them at no charge. So that I don't want them to feel like if they enter into agreement with us, oh, we're locked in, we're going to lose our money, whatever. We try to accommodate even people that rent. So yeah, we do make that available.
If they move in with mom and dad, can you transfer it to mom and dad's house?
As long as mom and dad doesn't have one.
And I remember when my kids were in college, especially my daughter, if you're not in a locked building and you have these walk-ups, which most of them are, you worry about your kids getting in and who's ringing the doorbell and who's outside. They don't worry, but it's just another level of worry. You wonder why people have anxiety. Why people worry when you've got grown kids. There's so many levels, but this doorbell with the camera on it is remarkable. You can really see what's going on.
Yeah. So it gives you the peace of mind, and that's what this is all about. It's about peace of mind. Yes, a lot of it has to do with the crime and the burglary and those kind of things, but more importantly is the convenience. The home automation is all about convenience and your lifestyle and what are you accustomed to doing, what would you like to do, and we can accommodate. So we really have two schools of thought working here simultaneously that we can help people to, okay, let's enhance the quality of your lifestyle and keep you safe at the same time.
Now, bells and whistles. I see on a commercial from another company, they can even turn off water faucets.
Yeah, turn off everything.
You
Lights,
do your air
water.
conditioning, you
Yes,
said.
everything. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, with the thermostat. See, if the thermostat, you want to be able to, if there is smoke or fire, you want it to shut down your thermostat so it's not spreading it throughout the house. So yeah, you have a thermostat. You're controlling that with your phone. It saves you on power if you've got a.
You do it off your phone.
You do it over your phone. So if you're working all day, you're here all day, right? You're not going home to this evening. Why should the air conditioner be running? You might as well save that, and then an hour before you go home, go on your phone and turn it down to the desired temperature. It'll be cool when you get home.
That is.
You will have no time to work. You're going to be on your phone all the time between your air, your alarm, your doorbell, your packages being delivered.
Yeah, but I can check in on Casper.
Check in on the cat. Oh, you also have a motion detector.
There
Speaking
you
of
go.
Casper.
There you go.
But you have the eyeball so that the cat can't break the laser and all that stuff.
We got everything.
He says they set it at like what?
Well,
Well,
for
cats you
pets,
said
it-
are harder.
Yeah, cats is hard. If you got motions, cats they have their own mind about things.
Well,
if you
mine
got-
is a big
But
cat.
if you got a puppy, usually they're going to stay within that 4-foot range, and so if you anything it ignores anything 4 feet from the ground up, and then that's
Can you make it 5 feet?
You got a big dog?
I got
My
a big
size?
cat.
Yeah, because remember we got two size motions. There's one for small dogs, and there's one for big dogs.
I have a
What's your
big cat.
Yeah.
27
Your
pounds.
cat's as big as me. I'm 5 feet tall.
No, but he gets up on stuff. Like he likes
What
to
about the refrigerator?
do that too. I got a mountain lion. This thing goes everywhere. Everywhere. He goes, there is nothing high enough for
Yeah,
him.
we're
Your
gonna have
cat
to
weighs
come up with
27
something
pounds?
different.
27 pounds.
We gotta
That's
come
not
up.
a cat.
I got a
we gotta
Maine-
come up with something different.
I got
for
a
you.
Maine Coon cat.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is that my cat now is comfortable because Tigger, may he rest in peace, is gone. So we've given him the use of the house now because we used to have 2 cats. So now he's comfortable. So now he's all over the place. He's on top of here. And I says, Casper, what are you doing? And he talks to me. So he's big.
But the amazing thing that really impressed me about TJ and Vector, and not only did you come over on time, you were early. Really, there are no added costs unless you're going to add in some extra things. So if you are simply switching your system, and you've got 3 packages, so you've got the simple package, one that allows you to use your phone, and then there was a higher
Yeah, we got a
package.
good, better, and best. There's one if you just direct using the keypad, then your phone, and then if you get into the video. So we got 3 packages.
But even adding the doorbell and some extra things, it's a no-brainer. It's like lunch. It's not, and that's a one-time fee.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anything you're doing is not exorbitant, and then you just transfer it over. And you had told us that the old alarm system, if you're out of contract, it's a 30-day grace period.
Yeah, once you're changing, they're usually going to tell you it's going to be 30 days. So you just work with that. Just say they're going to take out one more payment, and then you're going to start your new system. Very
Easy,
simple.
right?
Very simple.
It's hard to believe that it could actually be that simple.
Yeah.
Because
But it
customer
is.
service
It is.
in this community is not so good. And TJ and Vector, they're great. And you're hooked up right into our central station for the police department,
Yep.
and wherever you live.
And no matter
Police
where
and
you
fire.
are, absolutely. Yeah.
Now let me ask you, is it that they call me?
First,
Okay. You gotta explain this to me. Because I never understood this with alarm
Why
company.
they call you before the police?
Yeah.
Because maybe you set it off by mistake.
Okay.
and that's
good.
the reason. There you go.
No, I hear you, but if the guy has the gun to my face, I say, TJ, I'm a little busy right
That's,
now.
should have
and
a
that's
code.
why we're going to ask you for your password, and you're going to,
Oh,
if
gosh.
any password other than the one that you have on file is going to tell us that you're in a distressful situation.
So they're not going to say, Mrs. Zantori, that is not correct, right? They're going to say, okay, thank you very much, hang up and call the cops, yes?
Here, I got an even better scenario. In that case like that, and you got a gun to your head, don't put your code in.
Put another code.
Put in there's a panic code
There's a panic
on your
code.
thing. Just put in the panic code. It makes a silent alarm, and then we'll be right out.
Hey.
If it goes to a silent alarm, there's no need for us to call you. We can call the police right away because it's a panic situation.
You know, TJ, in the show, I give all the interns nicknames because I am horrible memorizing codes.
This is Smiley. What do you have for Julie? Anything? She's
La-
on the board. She's
the
been
la-
here an hour, and she's running the radio board. That's scary.
Latin lady.
Latin lady.
And I got to probably write it on my hand or tattoo it on my elbow or something to get but it's a great system. I wanted to talk real quick about seniors. When you are taking care of senior parents, right? you're able to keep an eye on them. You can lock and open the doors for them.
Cameras help in that situation so much. We have so many that either the kids are here or they're away and they want to be able to provide care for their parents. Yeah, the cameras help tremendously. We've been able to take the keypad and set it up for two-way voice. So that gives some of our seniors peace of mind, knowing that they could talk to a live body. It's just not all about pushing buttons and numbers, that they can talk to a live one in our monitoring center. They can do that. So we have a number of different devices to help seniors. We have the key fob. Like my mom, she doesn't do anything on the keypad. She uses the key fob, and she just presses away, and she presses come back, and she's happy with that. And I want her to be happy, because then there's less phone calls that I'm going to get.
Now, can you talk to people in the house from a speaker?
We don't have that available unless you're setting up a PA system. So yeah,
a PA system in your house?
Yeah.
How big is your house?
Well, it's a big house, obviously. Yeah.
I have a system. My board burned. I got to buy another board. But yeah, I'm able to speak to anybody even by the pool.
I want to give out TJ's information. How do people contact you?
Contact me directly. That's the best way. My number is 954-541-7399. Our office is at 6555 Power Line. That's off of Cypress Creek here in Fort Lauderdale. And so just contacting me I'm going to be able to one that's going to be able to get there and get you all set up and give you that protection that you need. So again, that's 954-541-7399. I'm TJ with Vector Security.
And you can even have it programmed so you can open the door, let your packages get delivered inside or your garage, and then close it back up.
Well, you saw what they're doing now. I think it's UPS or Amazon or somebody. They bring the packages inside the house. Is that what you just said?
Exactly.
Would you do that?
You open, but with this system.
I know, but would you do that? Would you let an Amazon guy in, deliver the package, and then lock the door behind?
No, because what if they don't leave? What are you going to do?
Well, that's what your camera's for. So you got to be smart on how you use these devices. So if I've got a camera that's watching the garage, and then I open the door, he places the package. I'm looking at the camera, and I can see him leaving. Then I lower it. That's one thing. But if you're just giving them carte blanche, no, I'm never going to suggest that a customer do that. So it depends on how you use some of these devices. You got to be smart about them and let us run the full scenario, and then we'll make sure that you got everything in place, because one missed item makes a whole big difference on whether or not this is a successful system or not.
And will this include maintenance and everything if something happens?
Absolutely.
They come out and the tech fixes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you remember the old alarms, ABC, when they put the aluminum strips on the windows?
I think I had them.
On the screens.
On the screen. No, they did that on the screens here.
Screens too.
In New York, it was on the windows. You have that? No. You had the aluminum strips? How old is this alarm? Oh my God.
Because when we moved in, we took over the existing alarm system and we've upgraded it a few times, but the connections are still the connections.
It is funny. My father used to put aluminum foil when it fell apart.
It's really funny. Thank you, TJ.
Thank you for coming.
Contact TJ Vector Security Friday, Little Smile, 6 o'clock at the Carl Springs Ale House, $15 at the door. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Be kind to each other.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000-square-foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
Health and Vitamin Concepts can help balance you through an innovative, non-invasive biomeridian assessment that measures the energetic properties of your body and naturally corrects the imbalances. Offering a complete thyroid, hormone, and nutritional profile, Health and Vitamin Concepts identifies the specific vitamins and herbs in the exact amount your body needs. Call for more information, 561-392-8448, or visit online at healthandvitaminconcepts.com. If you're ready to have more energy, better health, and a greater sense of well-being, make an appointment today at Health and Vitamin Concepts in Boca Raton at 7152 Barracassa Way. Call 561-392-8448. That's 561-392-8448.
Well, that's about it for today, and even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddy S. will bring you more goodwill next time. Although today's show was live, you can follow the cafe on Facebook at Brooklyn Cafe. To rewatch every minute of the show, call 866-224-5422 to talk with Dawn and Freddy S. after the closing, or to leave an order for fun for the next show. Have a meaningful day. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Tune in